So greetings from Finero. My name is David O'Reilly, Director of Tax at Finero, and you guys are in for a real treat today. So I'm going to run through a summary of IR35 for you. Now, I know tax is not everyone's passion, so I'm going to try and keep this video as brief and as practical as possible. I'd say interesting, but that may be a bit of a stretch. So over the past few weeks, we've been inundated with queries from our Irish recruitment partners on IR35. And pretty much the questions they're very similar or nearly the same. So we thought we'd do a quick video for you, run through the 5 things that Irish recruiters need to know about IR35, and also what are Finero's 5 tips in terms of preparing for IR35. All very practical. So prelude, IR35 has been around for a long time, and for the most part, Irish recruiters haven't really had to concern themselves too much with it, which has been a good thing. But the changes are coming from the 6th of April 2021. And you need to be aware of these and most likely takes some actions. So jumping in, the first thing that you need to know about IR35 is, okay, what is IR35 and why does it exist? So IR35, it is UK legislation and it's designed to combat tax avoidance by workers operating as contractors, but who really should be employees. So what IR35 is, it strips away the tax advantages that contractors have for those people who shouldn't really be contractors, so really they're employees. Number 2, what's changing? So this is an important one. Up until now, it's always been the contractor's responsibility to determine whether they're inside IR35 or outside IR35. But from the 6th of April 2021, that responsibility shifts from the contractor across to the client. So it's a client's responsibility now to determine if the contract is within IR35 or outside IR35. But beware, this liability can also pass down to the recruiter. So caution is required. Number 3, what does this mean for you as an Irish recruitment business? Maybe nothing. Maybe you will have no impact on you whatsoever. But you should still be aware because you don't unwittingly get brought into an IR35 saga down the road because it can be painful. So the key point from now on, you need to have crystal clarity over everybody in the contract chain when you're dealing with contractors. Why, you may ask? So it is going to be the client's responsibility to determine whether the contract is inside IR35 or outside IR35. But if you, as the recruitment business, is actually paying the contractor, you have an obligation to withhold taxes and pay them over to HMRC if the contract is within IR35. And it's an important point. If you have to pay taxes over to HMRC, like national insurance, employers' national insurance, you cannot offset these taxes against the amount that you pay the contractor. So you have an agreed amount to pay the contractor for 8,000 and it's HMRC 3,000, you can't offset them against them. So it could significantly increase your costs. So beware. Number 4, how do you know if a contract is within IR35? This is a great question. I came up with it myself. There's a lot in this one and a lot of different factors. There's no one hard and fast rule. So you're going to look at how much direction, supervision, control is exercised by the client over the contractor. Do they provide their own equipment? Where is the financial risk? Is there a substitution clause in the contract? Very important point. What I recommend and suggest, you go onto the HMRC website, just Google HMRC status checker. You're going to go through the questions and it will give you an indication of what's inside and what's outside IR35. This is going to be short videos. I can't go into that question in more detail, but very happy to go through a free training session with yourself and the team if you want. Okay, number 5, what should you do to prepare? So I'm going to try and give you some practical takeaway advice here, okay? And in doing so, I'm going to take a look at the big picture. Post-April, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, but the clients are still going to need their work done and contractors are still going to be looking for contract income. So there's still going to be a lot of opportunities around. And for the recruitment business who show that they are up to speed on IR35, they may be perceived as a safe pair of hands for clients who deal with UK contractors. So it's an opportunity. Okay, so 5 tips, okay? First one, do a review of your contract book immediately, okay? So you're looking to get clarity on all parties in the contract chain. You're looking for contractors who work in the UK, physically work in the UK, or who are operating through a UK limited company. Number 2, you're going to carry out all assessments on the high-risk contracts, okay? So you're going to want the HMRC website and do the status checker. Now, I know it's not your responsibility to do this, but you should do it anyway. That'll give you an indication if it's inside or outside IR35. You're then going to have conversations with the client, kind of educate them if they're Irish clients have never heard it before. Hopefully they have heard it before and they're up to speed on it. If you're dealing with a nervous Nelly client, my recommendation is kind of you get a specialist company in to do a review of the assessments. So quite often these companies, they will guarantee the decision. So if they say it's outside IR35, they will guarantee that and indemnify the client and yourselves if HMRC ever come knocking. So worth its weight in gold. Important point, these new rules kick in from the 6th of April. So that means kind of pretty much people who are being paid in April probably worked in March. So you need to get on and do these reviews as soon as possible because you may have some contract changes coming up. Number 3, update your contracts, okay? So I highly recommend you get your contracts updated from an IR35 perspective. A well-written contract will not get you out of trouble with IR35, but a poorly written one will get you into trouble very quickly. And there's a lot of companies out there that will do this for you. Number 4, make sure you do some training and awareness with your team. So make sure your team know what IR35 is, what the do's and do nots are with IR35. Again, we're very happy to go in and do free training for the team if you so need. 5th one, and this is more protection, consider taking out some IR35 insurance or have a chat with the client about taking some IR35 insurance out. So this insurance will pay for litigation costs, will pay for kind of, will pay the taxes if HMRC come and knocking down the road. So it's a nice little kind of safety net there. Okay, quite often we get asked, okay, I don't like that. That all sounds risky. What are the alternatives? So if you don't want to deal with IR35, you've got 3 options. 1, you can ask or request the contractor to operate through an umbrella company. So if you operate through an umbrella company, all the taxes are payroll, so they're fine. 2nd one is the client can take them on as a perm. That's generally not an option. And the 3rd one is, okay, if you're dealing with companies that are outside of Ireland. So if you're outside of Ireland, the client is wholly outside of Ireland, then the responsibility kind of goes back to the contractor. And the key word there is wholly. So you can't have kind of any subsidiaries or parent companies or sister companies in the UK. It has no ties to the UK whatsoever. Okay, so summary now, kind of summarizing. These changes were introduced in the public sector in the UK in 2017. So this has all been done before. So there's lessons to be learned. So in 2017, the liability shifted from the contractor to the public sector company, and it caused short-term havoc in the public sector because they took a risk-adverse approach and deemed everybody inside IR35. So they basically gave the contractors an option: come on board with us as a permanent employee, or your contract's getting terminated. And a lot of people kind of said, goodbye, we're out of there. So there was an exit of talent out of the public sector, which caused problems in getting projects finished and a lot of delays. But they came up with a bright spark. And that was they did proper reviews for the contracts. And what they found out was about 89% of all of the contracts within the public sector were outside IR35. So 9 out of 10 contracts were outside IR35. So learn from their lesson. Do not do a blanket approach. Educate the client if they say kind of no, kind of not dealing with UK contractors. There is a way forward here and to do proper assessments. And there's companies out there that will do them for you and indemnify the decision. Okay, that was as short as I could keep that video. Hopefully it was practical or interesting. If you want more information, please feel to reach out to the Finero team and we will happily kind of help in that way we can. And as mentioned, we can do free training sessions for you as well. Have a good day and best of luck with IR35.